Hello, Expandacraft fans, and sorry in advance for the wind noise, but we are out on the Sopchoppy River. That's in Sopchoppy, Florida. And we are on the Expandacraft 16-foot 9-inch by 4-foot wide platform we have rigged as a fishing boat. This is the same exact platform that was a rowboat yesterday. If you look where the little table is here that I have for rigging my fishing lines and things, that pops off so that I can put the rowing mechanism right there. Speaking of rowing, there's my row oars, which are my auxiliary power should I run out of battery or have a failure on the motor. You always have to think of safety. You need to have some kind of auxiliary way to get home, even if it's just a cell phone or a GPS responder, not transponder, that is. Anyway, a little bit about this boat. This seat and the box that's on it, the box underneath the box is my fishing tackle and a battery. I do not sell the seat. You can put any kind of seat you want on there, or no seat at all. You can stand up paddle this thing. I have actually sat down and paddled this, although I would remove the table and put it behind me so that I can get a paddle stroke in there. I wouldn't recommend paddling against the wind and current, but who wants to paddle in those conditions on anything? But my rowing, I can actually get 5 miles an hour rowing. This thing really rows very well. And I can paddle at about 2.5 miles an hour. That's without wind and without tide. Speaking of, this is going to be one of the rivers we're going to go up for our expedition. Follow us. If you subscribe, you're going to see what's on this river. You can even join us on this river, the Sopchoppy River in Sopchoppy, Florida. It's in what we call the Forgotten Coast of Florida. And yes, there are gators in this little bit of water. And not too scared. I'm standing here in my wet boots at the edge. And this black water, it's kind of a tea color. It's because of the tannins. This is a natural thing, not pollution. And if you read up on Sopchoppy, you'll see that we have the Worm Grunting Festival. That's right. That's where you stab a stake in the ground and run a metal pipe over it to make a grunting sound, and the worms jump out of the earth. I kid you not. Look it up, Sopchoppy Worm Grunting Festival, and come out here with us. This boat weighs less than the Hobie 16-foot fishing boats that they have out there with the pedals. It is about 1/3 of the cost. Without the chair and the motor, you're looking at less than $2,000, which is considerably less than the Hobie kayak and some of the others like it, Native and the rest. But Expandacraft not only is lighter, but with these extremely thin hulls, comparatively, is much faster with the same amount of power. This is a 55-pound thrust electric motor. It does quite nicely and very quiet. You can put a gas motor on it. I would not recommend anything more than the 2.3. Honda makes one that is air-cooled, so you don't have to worry about salt water invading inside the motor as you do on one that is water-cooled. It is a little bit louder, at least the one that I tested. It's a little louder than my 4-stroke Yamaha 6-horse. But my 6-horse, the problem I'm having with that is I can never get anything more than just a crack above idle speed, because it's just completely unnecessary. It just makes the stern squat. And I foul the spark plugs because I never run the thing full blast. So I put it on my 16-foot trimaran canoe, that is outrigger canoe, and run it full blast for a few minutes every time I run. Expandacraft, this entire boat will fit in the back of my truck behind my seat in the cab of the truck, except for the 8-foot long decks. This one has 3 decks. You can make it with 4 decks wide and make it 5 feet. It's basically the same boat, but a little wider. Or you can add another hull, a 3rd hull there, and this one is 6 feet wide with 5 deckings on it. And I do put a 2.5 on that. It's a very, very efficient boat. Super stable, even at 4 feet wide. You can stand up and do the jitterbug with a partner and you're not going to fall off. Well, You may fall off, but you're not going to flip the boat. And even if you do, I want you to look right here. I have a ladder that extends and goes down. It extends to 3 levels. Ding, ding, ding. And it goes in at a bit of an angle, so you don't have to struggle to get back on the boat. You can actually jump off on, to cool off, pull that down, and walk right up the front. Easy breezy, Japanesey, especially if you're like me, got a few years under your belt. You don't want to be wrestling up onto a kayak and maybe flipping it over and dumping all your fishing gear, and quite embarrassing too. Sometimes that happens at the dock, I see. It won't happen with Expandacraft. Expandacraft.com. Don't forget to subscribe. We are going on a nationwide tour, and we want your ideas. And we want to visit your town. Tell me, where should I go? What should I do? Make a comment.